Day and all that stuff here now. But now they are a contender for a Big Ten title and a national championship, which,
isn't that wild?
Trust me,
That's wild
it blows my mind to say, believe me.
It's been quite the turnaround, you know, and obviously it's only year 2 with Signetti, but I mean, proof is in the wins, proof is in the success, and even last year going into the playoff, and then the fast start this year, the road win against Oregon was probably a signature win for him early in his tenure here. We talked about in our meeting, they're extremely well coached. They're a really good football team. They're an extension of him and the staff, and like, why not? Like, they're here, and they just locked him up for 10 years, whatever the deal was, which is smart because I think he's the real deal. So it's been a great story. Like, I love college sports. I love great stories, whether it's hoops or whatever. And this is what kind of turned into great stories now. Like, it's like a legit turning them into like a power. I mean, I don't know. We'll see, a powerhouse maybe. We'll see what happens. But certainly on the right track.
When you say well coached, give me like a view. Like, you watch a team. What makes them in your eyes well coached?
So when you watch film and you see the decisiveness in which I could talk about Fernando, right? Like, Fernando, the way that he plays the position and the decisions and all that, it's an extension. I was well coached by Sarkisian and Lane Kiffin. Like, I know, like, I can just picture him being in that room. And so when your quarterback plays at that level, you just know he's well coached. When the defense, when the offensive line moves, like, all of the units play very well together. And again, you know, they're good players. They bought into the system and all that. But when there's attention to detail, you can tell. You can just tell when you watch. It's not always great. I mean, they struggled against Iowa, obviously, going on the road to Oregon, but they found ways to win. So when I say just well coached, it's just like there's a toughness about them, because these aren't 5-star kids, right? They're kids that they brought in from the portal, and they go and get the players that they can coach and develop and that buy into what they're teaching, and that's just proof in how they're playing. Like, it's pretty remarkable.
Fernando Mendoza, a leading candidate for the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he plays with a jersey that says Indiana on it.
Right.
And how much coming from a top-tier program, the difference, how people view that, even though their success may be above and beyond, but it's not viewed the same.
Yeah, I think I want to say he's the odds-on favorite right now to win, so he's definitely getting that respect from Vegas, or however you want to talk about it. He's getting the respect. But you're right. I think, you look at, it's hard with the Heisman, right? Because, like, you could say the same, like Julian Sainz at Ohio State having the year that anyone's having, and we're not really talking about him at all in the Heisman, even though he's still up there, and he has the brand name, I actually talked to Fernando this week. I did a little interview with him. We texted, and he said, like, how do you, with the Heisman, just how do you handle all of that? How do you balance all of that? And I just said, dude, just focus one game at a time. Play at a time. Don't worry about all that stuff. If they continue to do what they're doing, which I imagine they will, and they're probably going to play Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game, that's the stage that's set for him to win the Heisman Trophy. It just is. That's what it will be, and maybe both of those guys, Julian as well, and that'll show all the voters who, you know what I mean. So, like, he's got everything in front of him. Can't worry about all that stuff. That stuff takes care of itself, But he's a hell of a player. He's a great kid. Gosh, what a great head on his shoulders. I'll tell a funny story. This is actually a good one. He told me my wife's little brother, my brother-in-law, was his teacher in high school. So he told me that on the thing, because my family, my wife's Cuban, so he had this, I actually have people coming out here to come see him and his brother that are from Miami, that we got tickets for and stuff. So pretty small world there. There's a connection between me and Fernando. I had no idea, but great kid, great player, and a good opportunity today, or tomorrow against UCLA. Everyone's going to watch this game. UCLA playing really good right now. They really are. Like, that team is completely different than what they were. So this will be a nice little test for him, I think.
On that call you had with him?
I got one more, and then I go.
On that call you had with him, just what impressed you about him?
Well, I do a power player for Fox every week, and he was our guy. he's just God. I had Ty Simpson on earlier, and there's just a feel that I get from some of these guys that are just they're so mature, they're wise beyond their years. They're very their respect. Gosh, he called me Mr. Leinart, which made me feel old, but there's just something about the way they handle themselves that I can tell, he's going to be successful no matter what he does. And I know he's super smart. He was already interning in investment firms and all this stuff. This kid's the real deal. He just happens to be really good at football too. But that was what I took away. Indiana's got a great leader in him. He's a great leader, a great kid. And yeah, I mean, I'm just rooting for him. I think he's going to have a great rest of the year, and we'll see what happens, obviously in the next chapter in his life. So awesome. All right, guys. Thank you.